Millennials, the population group between 18 and 35 years of age, currently constitute about 34% of Indian population and contribute around 71% of total household income. They are one of the most important sections of Indian society and are expected to remain the driving force of the consumption patterns for years to come. And one of the sectors the millennials are defining as we speak is the Indian residential sector. Apparently, millennials prefer renting homes instead of buying them, and this is badly affecting the dynamics of the industry in its current form. Hi everyone, this is Sagar here from NB Constructions. Let's figure out some of the reasons for such disinclination and why and how the Indian residential sector can change itself to suit the millennials' need. Currently, EMI to rent ratios can vary from 1.9 to 4.5 depending on the city and the location of the space. By this ratio, I mean if you're paying 10,000 rupees as rent for a space, you could be paying anywhere between 19,000 to 45,000 as EMI payments in case you own that. Such huge EMIs drive millennials into renting homes instead of buying them, as it has a smaller impact on their wallet. One might argue that high EMIs are actually helping them build an asset. It's true, but there's a catch. Well, people are shifting towards short-term consumption rather than long-term saving to create an asset. Plus, millennials want to live close to business districts instead of suburbs or faraway towns and save on traveling to and fro. However, houses are expensive closer to business districts and hence renting out makes more sense. Indian economy is dominated by agriculture sector and the service sector. Manufacturing sector till now is smaller than the two with respect to the share to the Indian GDP and the employed workforce. Since huge number of millennials work in the service sector, they are not exactly tied to one city. Unlike in case of agriculture or manufacturing, the people mostly get settled in one place and they don't need to travel around much. However, in case of service sector, there is both a choice and a need to live in different cities for work. This plays a huge role in millennial mindset to delay his or her decision to settle in a particular city and buy a home there. Renting out a place makes more sense to have the optionality to live in different cities without being permanently attached to one single property. For most people, house is just not a place to live, but also an investment. A person buys a property keeping in mind that after a few years, its value will appreciate and the person can flip it over to earn a handsome return. For a long time, if a person wished to invest his money, he had only two options, either invest in gold or invest in real estate. And for the most middle class, investment in their house was and still is a huge deal. But luckily, times have changed and the markets have become more liquid and more sophisticated in India. As a result of this, newer, smaller ticket size investment options have been introduced in the market, such as stocks, mutual funds and whatnot. At the same time, people understand that the real estate is a big ticket investment and millennials realize the fact that it's not wise to keep all eggs in one basket. Hence, people for the sake of diversification are not investing this large chunk of investable income in one single asset. One trend which people sometimes tend to underestimate or just overlook is the fact that many millennials just are not interested in buying homes now. People's mentality have shifted to short-term consumption instead of saving for long-term. People wish to travel more, eat more often, use gadgets, keep their wardrobes up to date. Another important thing to keep in mind is that with buying a house comes an added responsibility of maintaining it, and people just don't want to take up this responsibility. In a simple nutshell, people have become more asset light and would prefer to Uber their daily commutes instead of buying cars and rent out spaces instead of buying them. Co-living spaces are essential services required to cope up with the changing trends. However, at present, they're mostly focusing on students or boys and girls who have just started working. These are essentially PGs which are just more tech savvy now. More co-living spaces for different groups are required. The industry should develop co-working spaces and co-living spaces as communities and not just small individual units. They should have flexible options in the floor plans such as studios, 1 BHKs, 2 BHKs, all in one single community and for people coming from all different walks of life. These spaces can be developed in different segments also, from economical to luxury as hotels are. From a developer's point of view, the advent of REIT listing is a boon to the industry. A developer can now develop such co-living spaces, lease it out to a co-living operator, and then exit from the project through either a private sale or a REIT listing. These changes will push our cities to grow vertically then horizontally, as developers would prefer to buy small pieces of land in proximity to the city center and develop multi-story units instead of buying large lands on outskirts to develop single homes. Last but not the least, the industry should focus on developing mixed-use complexes for people to live, work and entertainment in one single complex. Thanks a lot guys for your time. I hope you liked the video. Connect with us if you wish to discuss more about the industry. Have a nice day and please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you.